Good morning. It's Wednesday, March 11th. Here's what we're working on. Parts of southern Ontario under a flood watch because of heavy rain and thunderstorms.
U.S. military says its forces eliminated multiple Iranian naval vessels, including 16 mine layers.
Oliver Kaplan in the goal scorer. 1-0 Montreal. Willie, 30 balls and scores! Philip Deneau!
And oh, the Leafs continue a dreadful streak. Thank you for joining us on this very dark and gloomy Wednesday morning. Thunderstorms kind of surrounding us all over the area, and roads are kind of slick this morning.
Yeah, they are. When I came in this morning, it was perfectly dry. Nothing.
I went through some patches where it was raining really hard.
Same.
And then nothing.
Yeah. Oh, I see. Okay. But I didn't get anything. I could see some flashes of lightning in the distance, so it was coming, and it is as it has arrived, definitely. So we're getting some heavy downpours right now, and that's the way the day is going to be. Some heavy downpours, some thunderstorms, getting flashes of lightning. That camera that we're looking at right there behind me has been shaking an awful lot because winds are gusting to almost 50 kilometers an hour. But it's a lot cooler this morning than it was yesterday morning, and it's going to be a cooler day today, definitely, as the colder air starts to move in. Now, we still are going to climb quite nicely today, but then the temperature is really going to slide off. We should hit 14 degrees. By the way, we set a new record high temperature for yesterday. We got to 19.4 yesterday. Wow, it was almost warm out. So today, quite a difference, and the rainfall warning is in effect for a lot of southern Ontario. I'll detail all of that coming up in a few minutes. It is pouring rain right now on our exclusive camera at the 403 and Waterdown Road. No problems with traffic, of course, just slowing down because of the heavy downpours. Let's check some MTO traffic cameras that we have here. Millen Road, Stony Creek, Toronto-bound lanes coming towards us. Lots of spray coming off the tires. Pouring rain, top of the Burlington Skyway Bridge. Same thing here at Walker's Line. So, yeah, you're going to need the brawly, as I call it, the umbrella today, but you're going to have to hang on to it because the wind is strong as well. So we'll talk about weather and traffic coming up in a few minutes. Right now, the news.
Okay, parts of southern Ontario under a flood watch this morning with the heavy rain and thunderstorms. Environment Canada is expecting 20 to 40 millimeters of rain today. The ground is still frozen in some spots, so the water has nowhere to go and can then pool in low-lying areas. Warm weather and melting ice have also added to elevated water levels. Conservation authorities are keeping a close eye on the situation.
The flood watch is in place because there is potential for significant watercourse flooding if we continue to get more rain and if we get the rain that is forecasted. Then the water levels in the creeks may rise to the point where they go over the banks of the creek and start to flood not just the immediate floodplain, but the surrounding area, including properties, roads, etc.
The creeks and waterways are being monitored by conservation authorities. Simone Gavros is in Caledonia right now. As soon as it's safe to do so, because of lightning in the area, she will join us live.
Nunavut MP Laurie Idlout has joined the governing Liberal Party of Canada, leaving the NDP. The move means the Liberal government is a step closer to majority government. Interim NDP leader Don Davies announced the move last night, saying MPs who change parties should step down and run for election under the new party's banner. Idlout has long been critical of the Liberal government and Prime Minister Mark Carney. The Liberals now holds 170 seats, just two short of the 172 majority threshold. Political insiders say the party is likely to achieve at least that number following two by-elections in Toronto on April 13th. The switch also leaves the federal NDP with just 6 seats in the House of Commons.
RCMP say an attack on the U.S. consulate in Toronto is a national security incident. Around 4:30 yesterday morning, police say two men in a white Honda CR-V drove up University Avenue and fired several shots at the consulate. It wasn't reported, though, until about an hour later, possibly because that building is so heavily fortified that people inside weren't aware of the shooting. No one was hurt. The shooting comes after shots were fired at 3 Toronto area synagogues last weekend. Police say it's too early to say if the incidents are connected to the U.S.-Israeli war with Iran, but security is being ramped up at other consulates and at places of worship.
U.S. military says U.S. forces eliminated multiple Iranian naval vessels, including 16 mine layers near the Strait of Hormuz. Sources familiar with U.S. intelligence say Iran is laying mines in the strait. That area is the world's most important energy choke point and carries about 1/5 of all crude oil. Sources say the mining is not extensive yet, but Iran has the capacity to lay hundreds of mines in that waterway. Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard effectively controls the strait. In a post on social media yesterday, U.S. President Donald Trump says if Iran has put mines in the strait, they should be removed immediately.
6 people are dead after a bus caught fire in Switzerland. It happened in the town of Curzers, which is about 20 kilometers from Bern. Police are investigating if this fire may have been started deliberately by someone on that bus. They're looking into reports that a person had poured fuel on themselves. Police say it's too early to say if the incident is terror-related. At least 3 other people who were injured were taken to hospital by helicopter.
People near a quarry in the Greensville community of Flamborough want a public meeting on new plans for the site. Now, initially, the aggregate company Amriz, formerly known as Lafarge, said it planned to flood part of the quarry. Now it's moving ahead with a new plan that involves filling some of a quarry with nearly 39 million cubic meters of excess soil, about 3.6 million standard dump trucks worth, to create woodlands, grassland and wetlands. The Environmental Registry of Ontario accepted feedback on the proposal for just 30 days early this year. People living nearby say they haven't been able to find out many of the details from the company or provincial ministries.
Where is the soil coming from? How is it being tested? Where is it being tested? How much of it is being tested to prevent anything that's not going to be reversible in terms of contamination, which threatens our aquifer that we all rely on for drinking water?
Those near the quarry worry what 1 truckload of contaminated soil could do to their water system. Amherst did not respond to several requests made by CHCH News for this story.
The Ontario government is taking control of Toronto's stake in Billy Bishop Airport. Premier Doug Ford says Toronto needs 2 airports to compete with other cities around the world. He wants to expand the runways to allow jets to take off and land at the island airport. The airport's been a political hot potato for decades. People who live nearby have been very vocal about their opposition to any island airport expansion.
Some sad local news to share this morning. A Second World War veteran, Gordon Shotlander from Burlington, has died at the age of 101. In a Facebook tribute, his son David says Gordon was a devoted family man, businessman, and a pillar of the community in Burlington. At 18 years of age, Gordon landed on Juno Beach and fought bravely alongside Canadian soldiers as part of the D-Day invasion that would lead to the successful end of the Second World War. He later came to Canada with his wife Colleen and built a family in Burlington where many happy memories were created.
There's been a low-level data breach at Loblaws Companies Limited. The parent company of Loblaws, No Frills, Fortinos and Shoppers Drug Mart, says a criminal third party accessed some customer information. That includes names, phone numbers and email addresses. Loblaws says it's identified suspicious activity on a contained, non-critical part of its IT network. The company says it has since secured its network and customer information, with all customers being logged out of their accounts. A new 4-way stop in rural Waterdown isn't being noticed by some drivers. So there are flashing signs indicating this new all-way stop. It's at Centre Road and Concession 8 Road East. The intersection's down a hill with a bit of a curve. A camera we sent to the intersection yesterday did catch a few vehicles going through it without stopping. So a heads up if you travel in that area. Wiarton Willie has died. The town of South Bruce Peninsula says in a statement that Willie died peacefully in his sleep. The town says Willie carried on the Groundhog Day tradition and celebrations in Wiarton that attracted thousands of people every year. According to legend, there will be 6 more weeks of winter if a groundhog sees its shadow, and an early spring if it does not. And this year, Wiarton Willie did not see his shadow on Groundhog Day. The town says it has started its search for a new prognosticator.
Remember the 1970s TV show 8 is Enough? Maple Leaf fans sure do.
Oliver Kapanen, the goal scorer. 1-0 Montreal. Willie, 40 bounce in front, scores! Philip Deneau!
Toronto took their dreadful 7-game losing streak into Montreal last night, and the Habs beat the Leafs 3-1, handing their rivals an 8th straight defeat. Philip Deneau, Oliver Kapanen, and Jake Evans scored for Montreal, while Jakub Dobeš made 17 saves. William Nylander scored the only goal for Toronto, who is on track to miss the playoffs for the first time in 10 years.
Thompson attacking, gets in the paint, Durant, corner three.
Kevin Durant hit 4 3-pointers and scored a game-high 29 points as the Houston Rockets beat the Raptors 113-99. Durant scored 22 of his points in the first half and added 7 rebounds. R.J. Barrett led the Raptors with 25 points, and Scotty Barnes added 24, but Toronto made just 9 of their 36 3-point attempts. Miami Heat star Bam Adebayo had a night to remember.
83 points for Bam Adebayo.
You heard that right. Adebayo scored 83 points, the second highest total ever behind Wilt Chamberlain's NBA record of 100 in Miami's 150-129 win over Washington. Adebayo scored 31 points in the first quarter, 12 more in the second, 19 points in the third, and 21 in the fourth quarter. His performance moves Kobe Bryant's epic 81-point game against the Raptors in 2006 down to the third highest total in history. Burlington's Victoria Mboko has reached her first quarterfinal at Indian Wells after sweeping Amanda Anisimova 6-4, 6-1 in just 73 minutes. It's the 19-year-old's 16th victory this season, second most on the WTA Tour. Mboko will face world number 1 Aryna Sabalenka in the quarters tomorrow. Big win for Canada at the World Baseball Classic. Abraham Toro hit an RBI single in the fourth inning to give the Canadians a 3-1 lead over Puerto Rico last night, en route to a 3-2 victory. Canada scored 2 runs in the third inning on a couple of bases-loaded walks and improved to 2-1 in Pool A. The Canadians can advance to the quarterfinals for the first time in WBC history and clinch top spot in the pool with a win over Cuba this afternoon. Elsewhere last night, Italy upset the U.S. 8-6, and the Blue Jays hammered the Braves 7-0 at spring training. Another medal for Canada at the Paralympic Winter Games in Italy, courtesy of Natalie Wilkie. The BC native won bronze in the women's standing sprint classic. It's her first cross-country skiing medal in Italy after winning gold and silver in biathlon. Canada dumped Czechia 4-1 in para ice hockey, boosting their record to 3-0. The Canadians will face China in the semifinals, while the defending Olympic champion Americans will play the Czechs. Canada has 8 medals at the Paralympics. China leads with 9 gold and 23 overall. Hamilton's Elena Sharp has been elected to the Canadian Golf Hall of Fame. Since making her LPGA Tour debut in 2005, Sharp has competed in 389 events and has 16 top 10 finishes. The 4-time Canadian PGA Women's Champion has represented Canada at 3 Olympics and is already a member of the Ontario Golf Hall of Fame. Canadian soccer star Alphonso Davies left Bayern Munich's Champions League match against Atalanta yesterday after a non-contact injury, raising questions about his status for this summer's World Cup. And the Baltimore Ravens have backed out of a trade with the Raiders for star pass rusher Max Crosby.
Okay, here we go into an explosive Wednesday morning here. It's the 11th of March, 6:13 is the time. The rain is pouring down. It's finally arrived. It took its own sweet time to get here, but we're looking at the 403 and Waterdown Road right now. It is slow coming out of Hamilton, and it's all weather related, so people are taking it quite carefully right now as the rain continues to come down. Let's go to some MTO traffic cameras. There's no precipitation yet in St. Catharines. It's going to be pushing into that area area pretty soon, but the rest of us, oh yeah, it's pouring. Millen Road, Stony Creek, all the way through Fairview Street, where it is already just crawling along there, as you can see. Quick check of Royal Windsor and Oakville, pouring rain there. Same with the Etobicoke Creek, so traffic is on the slow side this morning. All right, let's get to temperatures. The temperature that we have at the moment to start our morning here, we are a lot cooler this morning than we were yesterday. We're sitting at 2 degrees right now. The winds northeast about 30 to 42 at the moment. We do have thunderstorms rumbling through right now, and we do have, of course, the rainfall warning in effect, anywhere from 20 to 40 millimeters. That's for today, and those heavy thunderstorms, that could bring us more, so could be some flooding, localized pooling and ponding. So 14 for school today will be the high, but thunderstorms, the winds will be northeast 20 to 40, but 15 to 25 millimeters today alone, maybe more if we get those heavy thunderstorms. That's a look at the thunderstorms that have rumbled through. You can see the flashes. Look at all the lightning strikes coming up across us at the moment. Quite a line moving its way across the horseshoe at the moment. So that low pressure system is going to climb its way across us, bring us all that precipitation. The snow is going to be to the north. Thankfully, we won't get that, but we are going to get some flurry activity as the temperature drops, and it's going to drop into the overnight hours and get quite cold. So today, temperatures 14, 15, 16 degrees, way above seasonal again, but a wet day today, showers and thunderstorms. Tonight, yeah, we dip into the minus column, -1, 2, 3, even -4 for Halton Peel. With showers cycling into some flurries overnight, and then tomorrow we'll get some flurries in the morning. Temperatures cooler, 3, 4, and 5, but still that's above seasonal for this time of year. So as we step out the door, 11th morning of March, we do have those thunderstorms right now. It is raining, it's cloudy, windy, and temperature right now too. Long range coming up. Annette, break.
Okay, coming up in the short range, we will say good morning to Emily with a preview of what she has for us in Chit Chat. And in business news, huge cuts ahead for Volkswagen as the German company deals with a triple threat. 6:18, time to say good morning to Emily.
Hi, good morning. Coming up, a special pre-party concert. It has everything to do with Hamilton's own Arkells and the Junos, of course. The Super Mario Galaxy movie, the final trailer dropped, and I was so captivated by this, I almost missed one of my hits yesterday.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. Ha-ha, Brian.
That's why we heard the clip-clop of heels come in very fast.
Yeah. And there's a new mystery crime series called Scarpetta, and it releases today. We'll do a bit of a deep dive into it.
Right.
Okay, thanks very much. Okay, checking the markets right now. The Canadian dollar is up to 73.74 cents US. Gold is up $1.30 an ounce, and crude oil is down $3.04 a barrel. Midday trading in Europe, all of the markets are down, with the DAX in Germany down triple digits.
On Asian markets, Tokyo closed the day with a gain of more than 770 points. At yesterday's close on Bay and Wall Streets, the TSX and NASDAQ finished up slightly. The Dow gave back 34 points.
Huge cuts are coming at Volkswagen. It's going to cut 50,000 jobs in Germany by the end of the decade. The announcement comes as the company posted its lowest profits since 2016. Volkswagen's CEO says the cuts are going to fall across all of VW's group. That includes Porsche and Audi. VW has been hit by U.S. tariff imports, high restructuring costs, and intense competition from China. It says the business model that sustained the company for decades no longer works.
Meta is buying into the latest AI buzz with a social network built not for people, but for bots. The tech giant says it has acquired Moltbook, a site where artificial intelligence agents interact with each other autonomously. The platform exploded in popularity last month, quickly racking up millions of registered bots and sparking debate across Silicon Valley. Some see it as a glimpse of the future, showing what happens when AI agents socialize and collaborate online. Others warn the site is packed with fake agents, low-quality AI content, and potential security risks.
U.S. Food and Drug Administration says it will not approve a prescription drug used to treat autism. During a White House briefing last fall, officials had suggested that the drug, called Lucuverin, could help thousands of children with autism. But FDA officials now say evidence doesn't show that the drug works for autism more broadly. When asked if the agency would study that possibility further, officials said the FDA typically doesn't fund large trials for autism.
We're going to take a quick break. Brian is going to be back with an update on your traffic and your very wet 7-day weather forecast. Stay with us.
Okay, 6:24 already on this. Well, it's not wet here, but I was going to say a wet Wednesday morning. But this line of showers and thunderstorms is pushing from west to east, and it hasn't quite arrived yet in St. Catharines. Here's the Garden City Skyway moving nicely. But what a difference to the top of the Burlington Skyway Bridge. It is pouring here, and traffic is slowing down because of it. East of Walker's Line, traffic's moving okay. Here, Ontario will dip into the 403 west of 10. You can see how the rain has really settled in right now. Hamilton's temperature has just fallen a degree. We're now sitting at +1 at the moment. We were 2 about 10 minutes ago. So 2 for Grimsby, Toronto, and into Mississauga as well. So for today, those are our sun times. We gain another 3 minutes of daylight for today. Not that we'll see a lot of sun today. Those are our seasonal temperatures and records for today. Record 18.2 back in 2021. The old record for yesterday was 17.2 in 2021, but we hit 19.4 yesterday. So quite a record breaker yesterday. But today, for the first bell, the temperature should climb. It'll be 11 degrees for the first bell. And then the temperature is going to start to sink. We should be 5 for after school, but showers and thunderstorms possible right throughout the day. So a 14-degree high for today, 15 to 25 millimeters, quite possible. Rainfall warning in effect. Tonight we dip to -3. We haven't been in the minus column for a while. Wind chill of -10. 3 degrees for Thursday and Friday. Tomorrow, a little bit of sun is possible, but chance of flurries. For Saturday, 2. Sunday, 2 with mixing, and then it gets colder. Monday into who's that guy? Is he back already? It's time for St. Paddy's Day next Tuesday. -4 both days. All right, that's your forecast, isn't it, Rick?
Okay, thanks very much, Brian. I love this story. A partnership between a correctional facility and an animal shelter is helping inmates and rescue dogs.
The inmates work with the shelter dogs prior to their graduation with the hopes of making the dogs more adoptable for the public. Now, the program director says the training provides the inmates with responsibility and teaches them patience. So far, all the dogs that have been trained through the new Leash on Life program have been adopted.
And this is in North Carolina. Yeah.
These dogs are so cute. This is an awesome program.
Yeah, it's a great program.
It's a win-win-win. Good for them for doing this. I'm sure more will maybe adopt this adoptable-like program. Stay with us. More to come after the break here on Morning Live. Good morning.